What is up, everyone? My name is Ryan, and I've lived in Cambodia for 4 years now, and I love to share the joys of the Kingdom of Wonder with you. Today, I'm helping you plan your visit to Cambodia with my top 10 favorite places to visit in the country. Not only that, but I'm also going to tell you the best way to visit them all, which order to go in, how to get to each location, and we're going to finish things off with tips on how to wear your pants so you get the best lift for your booty. No? Oh. That's a different channel. Sorry, that's a different channel. We don't do that here. We've got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. We're going to start things off in Phnom Penh because that's where most people land when they come to Cambodia. You know how people stand up in the plane before the seatbelt sign goes off? Why do you think they do that? Is it because they're jerks? Yes, it is. But it's also because they are excited to be landing in the country. They're excited to go explore the country. They can't wait to get off the plane. I know the feeling. When I step into that airport lobby, there's nothing I want more than to jump headfirst into the country and the culture. I certainly don't want to waste time waiting in line for a SIM card. Thank goodness for Airalo and the power of the eSIM. Airalo is the world's first eSIM store. An eSIM is an embedded SIM card, basically a chip that's built into your phone that allows you to connect to a network digitally from anywhere in the world. You can set it all up before you even arrive in the country you're going to, so you don't have to wait in line to get a SIM card, like these fools. This QR code will take you to where you can download the Airalo app. You can also check the description below for a link. You get the app, you choose the plan you want for the country you're going to, install it, activate it, and you'll be instantly connected when you land in your travel destination. There are over 200 countries and regions supported, and of course Cambodia is on that list. I watched a video the other day of some vloggers who were giving their first impressions of Phnom Penh, and they mentioned that it was only $10 to take a tuk-tuk from the airport. $10? You spent $10? What they should have done was download the Airalo app, purchase a plan for Cambodia, and set it up so they had the internet on their phones as soon as they landed. And then they could have ordered a ride from one of the ride-hailing apps, and instead of paying $10, it would have cost them, 1 second please, this says $3.50 for that ride. I'm no mathematician, but that's big savings. In fact, the $6.50 they would have saved, that could have completely covered the cost of an eSIM with Airalo, especially if they use my discount code. Install Airalo free today so you can stay connected wherever you travel, and use my code ITCHYFEET3 to save yourself $3 on your first eSIM plan. I have a friend that recently visited Cambodia, and he needed to keep his phone number because he needed to take work calls while he was here. With a local SIM card, you can't do that. So what do? You roam? You roam like a fool? You know how much roaming costs these days? I told him, Chico, my friend, napata roaming. This is how I talk to all my friends. What you need, home slice, is Airalo and an eSIM plan for Cambodia, which allows you to keep your number and not blow your budget on roaming. Chico. Download the free Airalo app today. Don't forget to use my promo code ITCHYFEET3 to save yourself US $3. Get your eSIM in advance and only activate it when your trip begins. Welcome to Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, and a pretty darn cool city in my opinion. There are some tourist attractions here like Wat Phnom, the Royal Palace, and the National Museum where you can see a bunch of ancient Angkor artifacts. Those are cool. Check them out if you're interested, but I want you to use your time in Phnom Penh to get to know Cambodia. Definitely check out either the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum or the Killing Fields. It will teach you an extremely important part of Cambodian history. Look up the Cambodian Genocide if you want to know more. Also, I highly recommend some people watching while you're in the most populated city in the country. There are a lot of cafes to do that in. There's a cool bar that overlooks the Russian market. You can also traffic watch. People describe the traffic in Cambodia as organized chaos. It's definitely a sight to see. Visit the Central Market because it's a cool building and markets are some of the best places to interact with the locals. Be sure to negotiate hard when buying items here. Take a sunset cruise for just $5. Phnom Penh is located at the confluence of the country's two most important rivers, the Tonle Sap River and the Mekong River, which you might just get to kayak on with river dolphins later. Spoiler alert. Get your first taste of the local food while in Phnom Penh, but also remember that this city is packed with all kinds of food from all over the world, food that you won't be able to find in probably, I would say like 7 or 8 of the 10 locations on this list. And go grab a drink at Basik Lane, one of the city's coolest places for nightlife. I have a ton of videos about Phnom Penh because I live here, so be sure to check out my Phnom Penh playlist to see all the amazingness that Cambodia's capital has to offer. But for now, it's time we move on. From Phnom Penh, you can get a minibus to Kep for about $10, and it takes around 4 hours. Kep is on the coast, so you can hit the beach while you're here. It's not Cambodia's best beach, that's coming later, but it's a lively place to cool off. Maybe grab some street food snacks, rent a scooter, and cruise the coastline. Be sure to check out the crab market where you can buy live fresh crabs and have someone cook them up for you right there at the market. Or go to one of the crab shacks for some of the best seafood meals you can get in the country. You can also hike a bit in Kep National Park, maybe just a short walk up to Led Zepp Cafe for a drink, or maybe go a bit further, get sweaty, and head to the beach to cool off. There's also a beautiful new yacht club in Kep where you can eat a meal, have a drink, or even do some water sports. Next up, we're headed to Kampot, which is just a 30-minute drive from Kep. You can take a minivan for as low as $3 or rent a taxi for around $15 to $20. There are kind of two sides to Kampot. There's the town, which has a lot of great food and cool bars. There's a decent-sized expat community in Kampot, so you can get some Western food there. The other side is the peaceful river resorts. A lot of people come to Kampot just to get a place on the river, slow down their pace of life, and just relax. You can rent kayaks or paddleboards and paddle the Green Cathedral, a little loop that shoots off of the Prak Tuk Chu, often just called the Kampot River. Personally, this is my favorite part of Kampot. It takes maybe an hour and it's beautiful, it's peaceful, and at the end you can stop at this beach, go for a dip, maybe crack open a coconut and just take it all in. Oh, that's so good. Arcadia is a hostel, a bar, a restaurant, and a water park. It's located about 8 kilometers from downtown Kampot, so the river is nice and clean there, and it's a lot of fun using the equipment they have set up in the river. Kampot also has boat cruises, and the best part of them is this.
That means let out!
Are you? Seriously?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What's the river levels like?
Just last year, the Kampot International Tourism Port opened, and boy is it a game changer. You can now take a ferry from Kampot to the incredible islands of Koh Rong. That's our next stop, but I actually have a couple of options for you here. Koh Rong or Koh Rong Sanloem. They're both islands, they're both beautiful, they're right next to each other. They have the same name almost. I can't choose. Well, I think that but the other, you see, I think, then there's, I can't choose. I just can't choose. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. Both will provide you with an inspiring place to relax for a few days. From Kampot, it's about a 2-hour ferry ride on a high-speed catamaran. The cost is $25. There's only one boat per day, leaving at 8:30 in the morning. I think it's the same boat for both islands. Koh Rong Sanloem is a bit closer, so you'll get there about 15 minutes earlier, and you'll be dropped off at Eden Beach. If you're going to the regular Koh Rong, you can either stay on Koh Tuch Beach or Longset Beach. The ferry goes to both of them. Do make sure that you get off at the right stop. Also make sure the accommodation you booked is on the right beach. There are several other beach options on both islands, but these 3 options are the only ones that you can get to via the Kampot ferry. I don't think I need to say much about these islands. The images kind of speak for themselves. The beaches are pristine. The water is perfect. You can find a lot of tasty meals, whether you want to just grab a pizza and eat it on the beach, or you want to get some very fresh fish. This fish was literally brought in as I was ordering. It was delicious. You'll find a lot of beach bars here. You might be able to catch a fire spinning show. And if you get a little bored, why not take a boat trip? They leave every evening. You can fish, you can catch the sunset, jump in the water, have a swim around, and then when night falls, there's a bioluminescent plankton that lights up when it's disturbed. It's really cool. It's unique. I have never seen anything like that, but you'll have to go there to see it because, well, I didn't have an underwater camera, so. Unfortunately, it is time to leave this island paradise. My next stop is probably the most difficult one to get to. It's in an area that's currently being developed. When I visited it last year, the road was newly paved and looking good. So the province is called Koh Kong, but I think the best area to stay for now is this area around Srai Ambel. To get from Koh Rong to Koh Kong, of course, you'll need to take a boat, but instead of heading back to Kampot, you're going to take a boat to Sihanoukville, and from there, a bus to Srai Ambel. The thing is, there are only 2 buses from Sihanoukville to Srai Ambel, and they both leave in the morning, one at 8:15 and one at 8:30. I don't know why they do this. It's like, spread them apart, buds. Same company, with 15 minutes apart. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me, okay? Don't ask me. But that means you need to catch the early ferry off the island. It leaves at 6:30 a.m. It costs $14, and it arrives in Sihanoukville at 7 a.m. Just enough time for you to catch a taxi to the Virak Bundam bus terminal. From there, it's a 1.5 hour ride to Srai Ambul. The bus is going to drop you off on the side of the road, seems like the middle of nowhere, and you're going to need to take a taxi to your accommodation. Oh, and there might only be motorbike taxis. Hey, I did tell you that this is probably the most difficult place to get to on my list. When we visited this area, we stayed at Sopiek Mongol Beach Resort, which was pretty great. They have concrete cabins, and they also built this giant walkway that wraps around a mangrove island. It's fun to walk it, but you can also get a little cabana on the dock. The water is really shallow there, so you can go for a walk in the water, watch the kids play, maybe rent a kayak and go for a cruise, or head back to the cabana to chat with the locals and drink some beer. Even if you don't stay at this resort, drop in here for a walk around the mangroves and maybe lunch. Just up the road is a little community called Nisat, which I believe means to fish in Khmer. Nisat is, I want to say it's the closest thing you're going to get to a hippie commune in Cambodia. A group of Westerners started it. I think most of them are Scandinavian. They bought up land, they opened guest houses and restaurants, and now there are a bunch of businesses operating in this small little commune. It's a great place to stay because you're going to get everything you need here, and if they don't have it, you'll be able to talk to someone that can help you. The Koh Kong area of Cambodia isn't exactly tourist ready, at least not for Western tourists. Not that many people speak English. The only food you can get outside of Nisat is Cambodian food. So if you want to be a bit more in your comfort zone, Nisat Village is probably the best place for you to stay. And from there, you can hire a tuk-tuk driver to take you around, or you can rent your own motorbike, rent a bicycle, or I believe they even have electric bicycles now. Down the road from Nisat, just a 10-minute walk, is what's known as the Lagoon. It's an interesting looking watering hole of sorts. We talked to the girl at the shop, and she said that they had the water tested. They brought somebody in, they got the water tested, and it's fine to swim in. She said not to drink it, though. I wasn't planning to.
No.
And the beaches in this area are usually very quiet and pretty awesome. It's a very off the tourist trail location in Cambodia, for now at least. Unfortunately, off the tourist trail often means difficult travel days. In order to get to our next destination, it starts with a 9:40 a.m. bus from Srai Ambul to Phnom Penh, and then about an hour wait, followed by an hour-and-a-half minibus ride, getting you to Kampong Chhnang at 4 p.m. It's like 6.5 hours in total, but it's really the only way to do it that I know of, unless you want to rent a taxi for about $110. Kampong Chhnang is located in a really cool area right where the Tonle Sap, which is the largest freshwater lake in all of Southeast Asia, drains out into the Tonle Sap River, the very river that you took a sunset cruise on back in Phnom Penh. Remember that? You remember? This lake is extremely important to the region. It's known for its dramatic transformation between wet season and dry season. It supports a rich diversity of life, including a species called humans. Definitely visit the Kampong Chhnang market to get a sense of what they're pulling out of this lake. It's maybe the wildest market I've been to in Cambodia. You can also hire a boat to take you out on the lake to visit a floating village. What a cool experience that was. This area is also known for their pottery. You can try out both the traditional and the modern methods, and if you're really lucky, you might see a traditional pottery firing. Instead of using a kiln, they basically pile up a bunch of flammable things, they stack pottery on it, and they light the whole thing on fire. Our next stop is straight down the NR5 to Battambang, the second largest city in Cambodia. There are a lot of bus and minibus options that range from $9 to $14 and take from 3 to 4 hours. Personally, I think Battambang is underrated. It's got its own vibe going on, not the youth gone wild scene that you get in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh. It's basically a farming city, often called the rice bowl of the country. But it also has some very unique tourist attractions. You can hire a remorque driver for the day and he'll take you to all the cool spots, or hire your own motorbike and do it yourself. Let's see, there's the bamboo train, which is a ton of fun.
It's pretty fast.
You can visit a rice paper factory, and I use the word factory very loosely, but make sure you grab lunch there if you want the tastiest spring rolls around. Pop into the stinkiest place you've ever been, the Prahok market. Prahok is a fermented fish that's used in Cambodian cooking. This place is not for the squeamish. You'll find many cool temples and wats in Battambang. This one is at the top of 378 steps, a super fun activity in 35-degree weather. Personally, I prefer the dementedness of this temple.
Oh, look at their arms. Their arms are so creepy. And their dongs.
Irrigation is a big part of why Battambang can grow so much rice, so we visited the Kamping Poi Reservoir. It's a bit out of town, but the drive is nice and the reservoir is a neat local hangout. Finally, as the sun sets, find a good spot by the famous Battambang Bat Cave to watch millions of bats heading to work for the night.
And they're flying pretty close to my head sometimes.
In 3 hours and for $10, you can go from Battambang to our next location. Maybe you've heard of it, Siem Reap, the home of the spectacular Angkor temples. I guess we'll just get the temples out of the way. This is probably the main reason you came to Cambodia. Angkor Wat is the largest religious structure in the entire world. It's the final boss. It's on the Cambodian flag, the only flag in the world that features a building. Many people refer to this entire area of temples as Angkor Wat, but really that's just the one structure. There are 72 major temples in the Angkor Archaeological Park. You won't see them all, don't try, but here's what I recommend you do. Start with Angkor Wat. You could go here for the sunrise. I'll leave that up to you. I'm an early riser, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me to get up at 4:30 a.m., but everyone values their sleep differently. After Angkor Wat, head to Ta Prohm, aka the Tomb Raider Temple. Then Bayon, aka the one with the faces. The faces are said to be of Brahma, a Hindu god. Then head to Preah Khan with its photogenic hallways. After that, honestly, you'll probably be templed out. The Cambodian heat has never lost a fight on its home turf of Angkor. Passes to the Angkor Archaeological Park are sold for 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days. If you want more and you're going to do another day, you can rent a bicycle and hit the trails to see some of the more off the beaten path temples. I did this loop once and it was a sweaty but very fun day out. Or maybe 1 day of temples is enough. I get it. No one's trying to guilt you into going to more temples. I mean, the cool kids are doing it, but, you know, it's up to you. Luckily, there are plenty of things to do around Siem Reap. The small but bustling city has a great food scene. A lot of expats living in the area have opened up restaurants. Pub Street is also a fun night out. The hotels in Siem Reap are maybe the best bang for your buck hotels in the world. You can get a great room for $30 a night. It'll be nicely decorated. It might have a pool. Breakfast might be included. There's also great souvenir shopping in Siem Reap. There's a night market with all kinds of cool little knickknacks. Oh, and I recommend a visit to the fair. That's fair with a PH. It's the Cambodian circus, and it is an unforgettable night out. My next stop is one of my favorite quiet little towns in Cambodia. It's called Kratie, and it's the jumping off point to see the Mekong River dolphins. To get there from Siem Reap, your best option is the one minibus that Virak Buntham operates. It leaves at 8 a.m. and arrives in Kratie 6 hours later at 2 p.m. I know, it's a long ride. If you just want to head back to Phnom Penh, you can do that. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to tackle you, force you to go to Kratie. I won't do that. I made that mistake once. It's not going to happen again. But it is a 6-hour ride back to Phnom Penh as well. So you might as well stick to the itinerary and get some of those river dolphins all up in your eye holes. Kratie is pretty sleepy, but it's right on the Mekong River and you can get a room with a balcony that overlooks it. I loved our stay at Sorya Guest House. Sorya can also arrange a kayak trip out on the Mekong, which I highly recommend. I absolutely loved being out on one of the coolest rivers in the world. It's such a big river that you feel really vulnerable on it. There are some very small rapids that get your heart pounding. You get to stop for a swim, a little cool-off session. And the tour ends at the area where the heavily endangered Mekong river dolphins like to hang out. Truly a Cambodia highlight. We've got recreation, we've got river dolphins, we've got a gorgeous sunset. This is why you go to Kratie. But if you're not into kayaking, you can also make your own way to the spot where the dolphins are, and from there you can hire a motorboat to bring you out on the water. If you do this, you might want to stop at the Phnom Sambok Pagoda. It's a pretty cool temple with a huge line of Buddhas. After a short visit to Kratie, you can take a minivan to Sen Monorom, the capital of Mondulkiri province. It's a 4-hour ride, and the transportation options might be a little limited, so maybe book ahead. I also want to note that the transportation options I'm telling you about are ones that you can book online. There's a few different booking sites: Cambo Tickets, One2Go, Redbus, Book Away. There are, however, independent options, share vans that I think are owned by individuals. I'm not really 100% sure how they work, but there's no information about them online. And the best way to get information, if you're not happy with the transportation options available to you through the booking sites, then ask around in the town that you're in, and you might be able to find something that fits your schedule better. For example, there's one option that shows up when I look for a bus from Kratie to Mondulkiri, a minivan at 2 p.m., but I'm almost 100% sure that there's a local minivan that does that trip at 8 a.m., I want to say. Again, ask at the guest house, ask around, somebody will know. Cambodians they love to be helpful. So our final stop are the hills of Mondulkiri. This area is sometimes thought of as a hill retreat, a place to escape the heat, but I mean, it's still pretty hot here. That's why you should probably book a place with a pool. There are a bunch of cool places to stay in Mondulkiri. Many of them call themselves nature resorts, which is exactly what you're here for. Many of Cambodia's fruit and vegetables come from this area. I enjoyed bird watching from my room's porch. I also became somewhat of a tree nerd while I was in Mondulkiri. We rented a scooter and drove out to Busra Waterfall, a great spot for a picnic. Maybe take a dip, maybe wash yourself because you're starting to stink. For a nice sunset, head up to Phnom Do Koh Rong Shrine. That's a tough one. It offers a great view even if you're a little late for the sunset. Mondulkiri is elephant country. The locals in the area once used elephants to help them farm. Those days are behind us, but there are several organizations in this area that are helping former working elephants settle into retirement life. One of those organizations is the Elephant Valley Project. Instead of housing elephants, they let the elephants roam the forest freely, so it's a different experience seeing these elephants. Instead of going to a place where elephants are housed, you go into the woods and you go find where the elephants are. It's more of an adventure, I'd say. These elephants are far from wild, though. They're taken care of and fed by the Elephant Valley Project. However, they live more of a wild life than the elephants at the other rehabilitation places, where they tell them when to bathe, when to pose for a photo, and when to take a big elephant dump. Maybe not that last one. I don't know. Dumps are pretty hard to control. And on that note, maybe this is how I should end all my videos, with a great big poo. It's time to head back to Phnom Penh. The ride takes about 6 hours, but there are usually a bunch of options costing from $13 to $16. These are my favorite places in the Kingdom of Wonder. I hope you enjoyed them too. Get there, go there now. Go, 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 go. A big thanks to Airalo for sponsoring this video. Be sure to download their app for free and use the promo code ItchyFeet3 to save yourself $3 on your first eSIM purchase. Woo! Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Comb your hair.
Never let society tell you how to begin living your life by following the norm and trends. I warn my friends, don't get blinded by the media. I'd rather be myself, take flight, got a speedy on speed dial. And meanwhile, my dream right beside me with a smile. She like Destiny's Child.